Romans 12:2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Romans 12:1 says, "I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service." I see the weight of anger you carry in your heart. I understand that wounds, disappointments, and scars have marked your life. I know you've been going through challenging moments of overcoming and self-understanding. Today I come to you not as a judge, but as a loving Father, offering words that can calm the storm in your soul. Just as the teachings I left through the sacred scriptures, I also have a message for you. Anger, my son, my daughter, is an understandable human emotion, but it's essential to understand that it can be a burden too heavy and difficult to bear. Listen with an open heart to the words flowing from my eternity to your being. Anger, that overwhelming emotion often residing in your heart, is a storm that can obscure the light of my peace in your life. Understand that true strength lies in self-mastery, in the ability to control one's emotions. Let me guide you away from the darkness of anger, for it is a capital sin that obscures the virtue manifested in patience. Patience, children, is a virtue exercised daily. One who understands that irritation is a clear sign of a lack of control is on the path of wisdom. Anger is like a defiant child, unable to control its impulses. My desire is for you, as a wise being, to understand that your peace is an inheritance, a divine legacy. The wise are not shaken, not dominated by anger. They understand that adversities and difficulties do not justify surrendering to impulsiveness. In the contemporary world, the expression of anger is present in the smallest gestures. We flood ourselves with the feeling of anger, even for problems that are not ours. We end up buying into the anger of others. It's time to strip away this feeling that destroys our divine light. However, those seeking wisdom should not fuel the flames of hatred. Do not play the game of anger, for it is an energy belonging to those who harbor it. Do not be the catalyst for another's anger. When faced with provocateurs, remember the words of Ephesians 4:26-27, which say to pacify anger before the sun sets. Do not give place to the devil, to the darkness that seeks to settle in when we allow anger to persist. Understand that anger is a choice. By not responding in kind, by not accepting provocation, you are not feeding monsters. Anger is a seed that, if not nurtured, will not grow within you. Be like balanced individuals who do not succumb to trolls, to virtual shadows seeking to sow discord. Do not participate in this game of anger, for by doing so, you are not only choosing self-control, but declaring that peace in your heart is your priority. Learn to forgive, and if that's not possible, learn to understand the limitations and ignorance of others. But never let another's anger take away your spiritual peace. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. May these words resonate in your heart, guiding you away from anger and toward the serenity that only the divine presence can provide. The wisdom found in the scriptures gives us guidance on anger. Remember the words of Jesus, who taught us about forgiveness and love for others. He reminds us of the importance of maintaining inner calm and serenity in the face of adversity. The Bible teaches us that anger is harmful not only to others, but also to the individual who nurtures it. It encourages us to reflect on the fruitfulness of anger, as it rarely produces positive results and often leads us to act impulsively and harmfully. Thus, remember that we can control our emotional reactions. and choose to respond more wisely and balanced. Uncontrolled anger can lead us away from the path of virtue and love for others. If you seek to overcome anger in your heart, here are some pieces of advice inspired by these sacred scriptures. Practice self-reflection before reacting impulsively. Ask yourself if the situation truly deserves such emotional intensity in light of biblical principles. Adopt a long-term perspective. Consider how your actions align with the teachings of the gospel and how they will impact your relationship with me and with others. Practice empathy. Try to understand the other person's point of view, cultivating empathy to calm anger and make room for constructive communication, as taught by examples of compassion in the Bible. Use breathing and relaxation techniques. Pray and meditate, seeking inner tranquility through connection with me and divine principles. Choose your battles wisely. Not every situation deserves an angry response. The Bible teaches us to discern what is under our control and what is not. Remember, my son, my daughter, controlling anger does not mean suppressing it completely, but channeling it constructively. Promote self-control and serenity in your life, for by doing so, you build healthy relationships and promote your own well-being. As Ephesians 4:26-27 reminds us, when you are angry, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and do not give place to the devil. This emphasizes the importance of promptly resolving anger, avoiding it turning into harmful actions. Preserve your inner peace, and do not let anyone take away your calm, your peace, and your tranquility, even in the face of chaos and storms. I am your peace and your refuge.